From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Satellite and radar says a couple of sprinkles off to our east, but here in mid-Michigan, we are dealing with dry and mostly cloudy conditions this evening. Temperatures outside really not all that bad. 41 degrees in Lansing and St. John's, 38 the current temperature in Marshall, and we're at 39 degrees off to our northwest in Ionia. We are going to continue to stay dry and cloudy for the rest of the evening. Some snow showers will be moving in early tomorrow morning, and then we have some really cool temperatures that will be moving in after that. We'll talk about all of it coming up in just a bit. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5:30.
Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start the clock on our first 6 minutes of news. A young woman from Detroit is now being charged in connection with a string of vehicle thefts in Kent County. Nadia Rush was arraigned in court on Monday afternoon. Police say she was one of 5 people who stole rare sports cars from a dealership in Caledonia Township. Early Monday morning, a dealership owner saw a group of people breaking into the business and stealing cars. Kent County deputies arrived in time to follow them, but lost sight of some of the 5 vehicles. They were able to stop others. Officials say a Dodge Ram was found here in the Lansing area, and a Chevy Corvette was found abandoned in Livingston County. The mother of a teenager from Grosse Pointe will not be charged in connection with her son's second-degree murder case. That's according to Wayne County prosecutors. In 2023, prosecutors say 16-year-old Kiernan Tagg drove a car more than 100 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone and then crashed, killing his friend Flynn McCrell. McCrell's mother asked prosecutors to charge Tagg's mom for being negligent regarding her son's behavior. However, prosecutors said today the mother took reasonable actions in dealing with her son. Tagg's trial is scheduled for February. Well, that is a garbage truck exploding in Illinois. 2 police officers and a firefighter were responding to the call about the truck being on fire when it exploded on Friday, injuring them all. They have since recovered. Parts of the truck landed blocks away. Police say the truck was powered by natural gas and one of the fuel containers blew up. Tonight, thousands of people have been ordered out of their homes in California as a wind-driven wildfire burns through the Malibu area. Take a look. Officials say more than 8,100 homes and other structures are threatened. 2,000 people have been told to evacuate, and another 6,000 have been warned to be ready to leave on a moment's notice. Santa Ana winds with gusts up to 40 miles per hour are fueling this fire and making the job for firefighters very difficult. Turning to the Middle East, after the dictatorship of Syria's Bashar al-Assad fell, there are reports that Israel is carrying out waves of heavy airstrikes across the country. Israeli troops are also advancing deeper into Syria. Officials say they're hitting military targets to prevent them from falling into the hands of extremists. Meanwhile, members of the ousted Syrian government will gradually transfer power to a new transitional cabinet. And while the Israeli military carries out those operations, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu took the stand in his corruption trial today. He's accused of paying an Israeli media mogul through regulatory favors for positive news coverage. And outside the court, protesters for and against Netanyahu were on the streets. One vocal group was calling for the attention to be put on hostages held by Hamas.
That the most important thing is actually to return back and to shed the light on bringing back the hostages.
The 75-year-old Netanyahu is the first sitting Israeli PM to be charged with a crime. Well, back here in the U.S., a bill written by Democratic U.S. Senator Gary Peters of Michigan just passed the Senate. According to a statement, the Secure Adjacent Federal Property Act requires the government to look into property that's near federally leased areas for the possibility of espionage or other threats. The bill would standardize guidance across the federal government for all sensitive facilities. Just 2 days before 3 people connected to President-elect Donald Trump were due to stand trial in Wisconsin, they were hit with 10 more felony charges. Former attorneys for Donald Trump, Jim Troupis and Kenneth Chesbrough, and a campaign official, Mike Roman, were charged in June with forgery, accused of creating a document saying Mr. Trump won the 2020 presidential election. And that was signed by people who were allegedly told they would be electors for Mr. Trump. But the new charges make that single felony charge separate for each would-be elector. After police arrested Luigi Mangione in a Pennsylvania McDonald's as a suspect in the killing of an insurance company's CEO, the restaurant is now getting review bombed online. Mangione is accused of shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York, and he was spotted in the McDonald's, and an employee called 911. But the suspect has gained a sympathetic following, and people are saying the restaurant is, quote, full of. They also say the workers talk too much and wonder about the company's health insurance plans. Mangione was officially charged with murder on Monday and made a court appearance today. Boxer Mike Tyson is now being sued for more than $1.5 million, accused of wrongfully breaking a promotional contract. A Cyprus-based company claims Tyson broke their deal in favor of one with Netflix, which afterward streamed the fight between Tyson and Jake Paul. Now, Tyson says the contract was broken because the company did not seek his approval for merchandise rights. The 58-year-old Tyson made a reported $20 million in last month's bout against the 27-year-old Paul in front of more than 70,000 fans. Paul won an 8-round unanimous decision. And speaking of large piles of money, tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is now $619 million. The drawing is set for 11 p.m. and tickets are available until about 10:45. Game officials say if someone wins, it will be the 4th jackpot won this year. Now, to get that jackpot, all you have to do is match 5 numbers to the white balls and the number on the gold mega ball. Good luck. And to wrap up our first 6 minutes of news, here are a couple of stories with a happy ending for people and animals. First, a 10-year-old boy in Colorado got lost while riding his quad bike in the wilderness over the weekend, but he had a phone and called 911, and soon a drone was overhead. Rescuers operating the drone were even able to use it to drop off food, water, a winter hat, and a thermal blanket. And that kept him safe until a rescue crew was able to finally get to him, and he is back safe and sound with his family. And another drone rescue just happened in Florida. This one was to save a warthog who got free from his enclosure at the Jacksonville Zoo. And what police say was an unusual use of their flying drone, they were called to help look for Mateo, the warthog. Using the drone's camera, the search crew was able to get to Mateo and bring him back. He was still on zoo grounds when he was found. There you go. A couple of happy endings there.
There you go. And he didn't go too far either.
No, yeah, I mean, you don't want that running around loose. So it was kind of nice that they have the drone technology now to kind of speed
things up.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to be cooling things down in a pretty big way, Siobhan, as we go forward. But don't worry, those warmer temperatures aren't going far away either.
Interesting. Your full forecast after the break.